Hi. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 9 ways to touch a man that women have no idea about. Ladies, here's something about men I don't think most women have ever considered. A grown man can go weeks without being touched in a way that isn't asking him for something. A handshake, a slap on the back, a doctor, a barber. That's the touch menu for most adult men. It's functional. Nobody's touching him just because they want to. So, when a woman puts her hands on him with no agenda, nothing wanted, that isn't a small gesture. For a lot of men, that's the only tenderness he's had all week. Hi, I'm Matt Schaefer, and I've spent 10 years helping women understand what's really going on inside the male mind and heart. If you're new, be sure to hit that little subscribe button. I got amazing videos dropping every week. And before we start, I got a gift. I made you a free 2-minute quiz that shows you exactly how the man in your life is experiencing you. It's a little scary how accurate it is. So, the link is down in the pinned comment and up at the top of this video. Now, let's get into it. Now, we're going to do this properly. I'm going to be starting at the top of the head and working my way down the body because location of how you touch man changes everything. The same set of fingers in 2 different places will get you 2 totally different guys. So stay with me to the whole way down. The last one is the one that matters most. And I promise it's not where you think. Now we're going to start where almost nobody starts. His hair. Ashley found something on me by accident. I finally trusted her enough to let her cut the sides of my hair really short, as you can see, which for the record was a bigger act of faith than our wedding. I never let a woman do that. And then the first time she did that, she ran her nails through this short hair on the side of my head and just melted me. Whatever I was doing, whatever I was thinking about, she can just do this to me for 20 minutes and I ain't moving. I am absolutely putty in her hands. And here's why it matters to him. A man's head is the last place anybody's touching with tenderness. Usually he's been guarding it his whole life physically and honestly probably mentally too. So when your nails move slowly through his hair, there's nothing for him to do. There's nothing to perform. His whole nervous system drops. You're not touching his hair, ladies. You're actually switching off the part of him that's been standing watch since he was about 11. So my takeaway for you on this one is use your nails and go exploring. Every man has at least one sweet spot up there and he almost certainly doesn't know where it is, which means you get the fun job of being the one who finds it. And now we're moving down to number 2. And this one reframes the whole rest of the video. It's the back of his neck and the front. Because the neck, it isn't just one place. It's actually 2 different areas and they have incredibly opposite experiences for him. The back of his neck is soothing. It's the shelf where he stacks the tension of the whole week, the weight of the job, the money, the things he hasn't told anybody about. A hand there says, put it down for a second. Rest, relax, just soften up, right? But the front, that soft place under his jaw, it's a different animal entirely. If Ashley and I are on the couch supposedly watching a movie and she just barely traces the inside of my neck, I promise you I am no longer watching that movie and she knows it. So here's the principle and I want you carrying it through everything else today. Every touch has an intention and a power behind it. You are either soothing him or you're activating him. The same hand, same man, different place, different result. See, most women don't realize that they're choosing. So, they just touch him one way, get a reaction they didn't expect, and then decide he's the confusing one. So, my takeaway here is before your hand lands, know what it's for, right? Are you here to calm him down or wake him up? You can do either. You have all that power. You just have to pick. Now, the next one is quieter than the rest, and it might be the most powerful thing on his list. Just take his face in your hands. That's it. Not going in for a kiss, not fixing his collar, just your palms on his cheeks, holding him still, looking at him. Here's what that does to a man. He is almost never held like that. Nobody stops a grown man and just looks at him with nothing required. Every set of eyes on him all day is measuring something. His work, his provision, whether he's got it handled, right? So when a woman just takes his face and there's no question in her eyes, nothing that he has to answer for, some men, and myself included, will feel their throats just closing up with the emotions and have no idea where that's coming from. But I'll tell you where. It's because it's the first time all week someone looked at him instead of at what he does. So my takeaway for you here is hold his face when nothing is wrong. Not in the crisis, not in the apology, just on an ordinary Wednesday. That's when it lands deepest because he can't just explain it away as sympathy or pity or holding him because he's had a hard rough day, you know. And here's one you've probably never fully heard about and it actually surprised me when I caught it myself. Number 4 is his chest. Because when Ashley and I are cuddling and her head is on my shoulder and she's running her nails across the front of my chest, I don't feel soothed. I feel like a man. It's the strangest thing. That specific touch is actually like the most masculinizing thing she does to me. And I don't think she has any idea. And why that's going to matter to your guy is the front of his chest is the part of him he understands as his job. It's what he puts between his family and the world. So when a woman lays her hand there with appreciation, not need, but just appreciation, she's not touching muscles. She's telling him the thing he's built himself into is good, that his heart, that his courage is good, and that she appreciates it. And my takeaway for you here is touching his chest with obvious pleasure is one of the only ways to say I'm proud of the man you are without saying a word. And men will take that sentence in any form they can get it. And now let's keep moving around to the other side. And this one's real tender. So stay with me. Number 5 is his back. When I've had a genuinely hard day, when I'm a little short and not that much fun to be around, I'll ask Ashley to just caress my back. And you know what? It works every time. Want to know why? Because when I was a little boy, I actually couldn't fall asleep until my mom tickled my back. It's been this primal soothing thing for me. That is the whole mechanism, and it works just as well as with my wife now than it did with me when I was a little kid. And here's what matters about that because it's bigger than my childhood. Somewhere inside of every grown man is a little boy. There's a specific memory of the last time he was cared for without earning it. Right? For me, it's a hand on my back at bedtime. For your man, it might be something else, but it exists and his body remembers it even if he doesn't. So remember that when you touch his back, you're not just relaxing his muscles. You're actually reaching a version of him that existed before he had to be strong for anybody. And my takeaway for you here is when he's wound tight and words aren't landing, stop talking and just start touching. Put your hand on his back. Caress him up and down his back. You will probably get further in 90 seconds than in an hour of trying to fix it out loud. Alright, now it's time for my subtle favorite one on the whole list, and I want you to go try it today or try it tonight. Number 6 is both sides of his forearm. I know it sounds crazy, but stay with me. Right now, the outside of his forearm, that is the perfect place for public touch. At dinner, in line, at a party, it's a beautiful, warm little signal. Everybody can see it, but he's really enjoying it. But here's the secret weapon, ladies. The inside of the forearm is the most powerful place you can touch a lot of guys. And I'm going to hand it to you. And okay, it's confession time because Ashley and I, we sit together at church, right? We go every Sunday. And while we're sitting there, she'll just hold my hand and just run her long, perfect nails slowly up and down the inside of my forearm. And I want to be very clear about what's happening in me while she's doing this. I am being completely undone. I am melting in a pew publicly. And not one person in that room has the faintest idea. It is awesome. And why this is so powerful to a guy is that skin, especially on the inside of your forearm, it literally never gets touched. There's no calluses on it and nothing at all, right? It's one of those few places on the body. It's like one of 3 places on my body that genuinely melt me. But because his arm, right, is just sitting there in plain sight. It looks completely innocent to everyone else in the room. So, I invite you to touch his forearm anytime you're in public and you just want to make him feel good, right? At the wedding, the work dinner, the family thing where you don't really want to do any PDA, right? It's public on the outside and private on the inside, and he'll be thinking about it the whole drive home. Now, here's one I bet almost nobody watching this has tried on purpose. Number 7 is his sides, just below the armpit down along the ribs, and it works for almost a funny reason. Literally, nobody's ever touching him there. Not a handshake, not a hug, not a doctor. That skin has been sitting there ignored and neglected for 20, 30, 40 plus years. And why it matters is novelty gets scarce in a long relationship, right? Most couples hunt for it in big complicated ways. But this is a spot that probably nobody has ever claimed. You're not doing something new with him. You're doing something new to him. And my warning to you here on this one is go gently. The line between electric and I can't handle this. Get off me is about 4 in of pressure. So, my takeaway for you here is the next time your hand comes to rest against him, let it wander somewhere it's never been. You'll know within 3 seconds whether you found something. He'll be twitching or making a noise or moaning, or you'll just know. I promise. Okay, buckle up ladies and take a sip of your coffee because now we are going below the belt line to the backside for lack of a better word and the inner thighs, right? And I know how that sounds, but hear me, for a lot of men, it isn't primarily sexual, right? It's that ribs principle turned all the way up. Nobody has ever touched him on his butt or his inner thighs just casually. So, when a woman does it easily, playfully, like it's hers, that reads as confidence. And confidence is sexy. And I love that my wife will grab my butt while we're hugging in the kitchen with exactly as much entitlement and enthusiasm as I grab hers. On behalf of men everywhere, go ahead and do it, ladies. We love it. It's a great thing. Be sure to listen close because here's the multiplier for this entire list. Lately, my wife has been touching my arms or my chest or even my butt and saying out loud that they feel good, right? Because I've been in the gym that she can tell that I've been putting in work. And ladies, I want you to understand something. Men almost never get complimented on their bodies by anyone. Not by friends, not by family, and honestly, not by many of their partners, right? And touch is super powerful, and a compliment is also powerful. But when you combine touch and a compliment in the same moment, in the same spot, it's a different order of magnitude entirely. He'll think about that sentence for a week. It'll fill him up in a way that's hard to describe. So my takeaway for you here is to put your hand on the part of him that he's proudest of, that he's been working on, and then say something about it out loud. That's the whole technique, and almost nobody does it, but all men love it. And now before we dive into this last one, I got to tell you about a woman I dated a long time ago. And see, she touched me plenty, right? That was never the issue. The issue was that she only ever touched me when she wanted something. When she wanted physical intimacy or there was something else that she needed from me, that's when her hands showed up. And I want to be honest about what that does to a man because I don't think most women realize he can feel it, right? He can feel that agenda. I never once felt like she was touching me just because she wanted to. It just felt like a transaction. And after a while, I couldn't enjoy any of it because every time her hands landed on me, I was quietly running the math on what it was for. What was it that she wanted from me? Right? It was genuinely heartbreaking. Not because I wasn't being touched, because I was and that was okay, but because I was never being touched for free. There was always a price for it. Which brings me to the last way men love to be touched. And it's honestly the most important thing I'll say today. It's the just because touch. And I'm going to use an example literally from a couple hours ago, right? Where my wife came into this room, this studio while I was preparing this video to ask what time I wanted dinner. And while she was asking, just standing there talking to me, right? She just ran her fingers up and down my back between my shoulder blades the whole time just absent-mindedly just for like 20-30 seconds and then she left. And it was so amazing because I didn't ask for that. It wasn't leading anywhere. It wasn't a signal. She just wanted to touch me while she was talking to me. And ladies, I can't properly explain how good that feels as a man because unlike that girlfriend that I had back in the day, that kind of touch, it has no bill attached. There's nothing requested, nothing negotiated. I didn't have to ask for it, right? It's just a woman putting her hand on her husband for the sole reason that he's hers and she felt like it. And here's why the just because touch beats everything else on this list. No matter where you're touching him, a man builds his whole adult life around being useful. His worth gets measured constantly. What he earns, what he fixes, what he provides. So, a touch that asks for nothing tells him he's wanted simply for existing, not for producing. It's the closest thing most men ever get to just feeling unconditionally loved without needing to give anything in return. And the encouraging part is it's free. It takes 4 seconds and it doesn't require you to be good at anything or touching him anywhere. Just touch him. Right? So my takeaway for you here is when you walk past him today, just put your hand on him. His back, his shoulder, his neck. Don't say anything. Don't make it a thing. Just touch him because he wanted you. That's the one he'll still be thinking about later tonight. So let's look back over these 9. The hair, both sides of his neck, holding his face, touching his chest, his back, right? The inside of his forearm, his ribs, his lower regions, right? And the just because touch that beats them all. And notice what almost none of them are, ladies. Almost none of them are sexual. And that's the part many women get backwards. The touches that genuinely undo a man or open him up emotionally are the ones that aren't really asking him for anything physically or in any other way, right? Because a touch with no agenda is a touch he can't fail. It's a touch that's just to connect with him. Now, I got to be even more honest with you because all of this is generally true and for me specifically true, right? But I don't know. Yo, man. His back might do nothing for him and his forearm might undo him. So, I want you to treat these different touches like a Swiss Army knife, right? Try them and then have the courage to ask, did you like that? And if he's shy or didn't even know, just watch him. Men are terrible liars with their bodies. Their body will let you know if they liked it or not. Now, if this stirred something up and you want to know how the man in your life is actually experiencing you, I made you a free 2-minute quiz that actually shows women things about their own patterns in connecting with men that catch them really off guard. The link's in the description and up here at the top of this video. Go take that right after this. It's a little scary how accurate it is. And tell me down in the comments which of these 9 surprised you the most. Which do you currently use or are you excited to try with the guy in your life? Right? I'm really curious how many of you had no idea about number 6 especially. Right? So, I read every single comment and I can't wait to connect with y'all down there. And if you got something out of this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and click that little bell to get notified with my upcoming videos cause I got some coming every week that are going to blow you away. And be sure to stay tuned to this next video where I'm going to be sharing 7 things men notice while holding you that they're never going to tell you. I promise it's really going to help you. So, go enjoy that video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye. The very first thing a man notices when he holds you and he's not even aware he's asking it is one quiet question. Will she let me take her weight? Because here is the